Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Nimbatus with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to yet another video where I have a very limited time to record today because loads of real-life stuff going on, but I really want to test out a brand new idea, so once again, it's a learning episode. Today, we are going to try and make a drone which is made almost entirely of removable and repairable parts. So essentially, almost every section of the drone will be created by a factory, which then holds it into place until that section has taken too much damage, and then it's simply able to release whatever's left of that armor section, weapon section, whatever's being damaged, and then replace it. In theory, this is amazing, because it means the drone can always repair damage if it's lost a few thrusters, and thus it can't really be crippled, unless the factories themselves take damage. But since they're going to be in the very, very core, it should make this a very difficult thing to kill, in theory. The one problem I can think of is that we're going to have so many parts connected to a single factory. That's going to be very, very irritating, but let's just see how this thing turns out. So, first of all, let's add the top section. This will be up here, and let's make this. Let's have it. So we have decouple is 0, then print is the numpad delete. And then we go up like that and clockwise. That way it's quite easy to memorize them and I won't accidentally press them. Hopefully, I won't need to press them too much. If this system works, then we could make something a bit more complex. Maybe things like the harvesting tentacles or the harvesting legs, which can simply be repaired after they've taken damage, because at the moment, they are pretty liable to simply, well, dying, honestly. So that would be pretty nice. So let's just put a lot of the usual stuff on this, and then let's see if this works out okay. Just waiting until one of these can be used. Okay, so let's try to detach the rightmost section. There it goes. Ah, there's a problem. Now I can't actually turn left at all until it's replaced, so I could have an issue with the new spawn getting in the way of the old stuff. Either way, though, this should now work. That is actually kind of awesome, isn't it? Okay, so release the bottom section. Once again, now I can't move upwards. But oh no, I would like the bottom section back, and it's back. Now this could be used in other ways. It could be used to release shields once they're damaged. It could be used to release batteries once they're depleted, especially if we use things like the super capacitor. Essentially, we could use it as a reload button. Wow, that's actually a really interesting idea as well. Just a basic version of this. If we just have super capacitors at the bottom, I cannot use that word, like this, and then that be the main thing to release. Yeah, battery full, battery empty. It can even be automatic. As soon as the battery is empty, release the arm. That's interesting. Now here's a question I've got. With the super capacitor, this lovely thing here, will that take charge from the other batteries? If it simply runs out of battery power, let's find out. So let's just quickly add some of these, and then we'll give it a quick test. Blue! Well, it's draining from the supercapacitor first, so that's going to take a while. Supercapacitor is out. Will it refill at all? No, it won't. Well, it certainly looks like it isn't going to. I'll leave it for a while, then we'll see if it does charge up at all. I don't think it will, because I don't think the other batteries have that effect either. So I'm thinking is, rather than having things like thrusters attached, maybe I will still have a couple of them. The main goal of this is to have armor around the outside, which can be replaced by the factory part. This way, if we take damage and a section is left vulnerable, we simply replace the armor, and this will also have shields attached to it. Then the core will have all the vital components. Now, we could have the vital components on the replicating section, so if they are lost, we can simply add more, but I feel like this will add to complexity, which really isn't too needed. And honestly, I just prefer this system. I like the idea of constantly regenerating armor, rather than constantly regenerating the more vital components. Although I guess we could do that as well. I mean, we could do both. There's the thing. That's not exactly out of the realm of possibility. But for now, let's just make a nice armored ring around this thing. Something like that, anyway. So it's all interconnected, but easy to break apart. This is connected to that, so is that. This is with this is with this. They shouldn't get in each other's way, as I like to say, in theory. That looks weird. It's almost like a smiley face, but like one that should haunt your dreams, and without an actual smile. So, honestly, the main issue with this is just the white. Outside of the white, this would work perfectly. But with all of that white, this is going to be an absolute nightmare. It's going to require a lot of fuel and a lot of thrusters. Now, we could add the thrusters to the deployable parts themselves, but they are already a little bit unstable. As you can see here, there are too many blocks attached to the factory, but you have to attach them to the factory, or at least things which are attached to the factory, for them to be replicated, and honestly, I don't want more than 4 of these things, at least on this build. Perhaps we can make a more complex version in the future with more factories, so smaller sections can be used. But I don't think this is the way forward. I'm still going to see if we can make it work, but I'm very unsure about it right now. Let's give this a shot. Well, it's certainly faster. It's stable. And there's not as much rocking around as I thought there would be. There obviously is, because these whole sections are connected to a single block. But, yeah, that's okay. So, let's let go of the top section. Goodbye. Come on, get out, there we are, and simply replace. Then any damage which has been done to the top has been reversed. Do the same to the right-hand side. Okay, so small issue, these thrusters seem to get stuck, so those need to either be removed, or simply, yeah, I think just remove these. That way, we could actually add something connected to the core as well, which should help to push these walls outwards and hold them steady. Could just add some more energy. Just a couple of small batteries here. In fact, we could add these. Now, admittedly, these won't be the most stable themselves because they are sort of in the air, since this hitbox ends there instead. So what we could do is that, but then it's not connected. Well, let's just see how this works out. Let's see how this works out. Then we can think about weapons and such, because right now we are running out of space on this poor, poor drone. This poor monstrosity of a drone. That's far less rocky. That worked better than expected, okay? So once again, drop the top. Drop the left. Drop the bottom. I said drop the bottom. Drop the right. And we are still a fully functional drone. But then, I want my armor back. Dink, 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 dink. That is awesome. That is a fantastic way to use these. And by the way, this has definitely been one of the most suggested things to do with the new updates. And I can see why. That is awesome. And I'm actually starting to really like how this drone looks. It looks kind of menacing in its own really, really weird way. Now I'm thinking about doing is adding a couple more thrusters on the outside as well. Now this, of course, will add more instability, but as long as we can fill the middle section, that won't be so much of an issue. So as we continue to build and add things, it should become less and less and less of a problem. Wait for it. In theory. So now all we need to do is add weapons. Now, when it comes to weapons, what I'm thinking is we need a long-range weapon. We need a weapon that's going to be consistent on damage, but also at a decent range. And I'm thinking maybe the rocket launcher. Now, it's not the most accurate weapon, as you can tell by the preview, but if we do get the energy upgrade level 2, we can combine this with energy upgrade level 1 to literally make it free of charge, which is one of its weaknesses, is that the rocket launcher is very expensive. So to remove that completely is pretty nice. Then we can simply give it the projectile lifetime upgrade, giving it plus 50% lifetime, meaning these rockets are going to go very far, and we can just swarm them. I also do want rockets for a future build anyway, because I want it with the heat-seeking rockets. Essentially, I want a standing defense turret. Now, the heat-seeking rockets, what don't they work against? Is it the organic life or the machine life, I suppose? Both of them would generate some heat, but obviously one of them doesn't. I can't remember which one it is. Now, logically, I would say it's the machines, though I'm sure people would disagree there, just because I'm trying to remember how they worked. So less logic, more broken memory. I'll figure it out next time. It's no big issue there. So yeah, I think I will grab both of the energy upgrades. There we go. It's now literally 0 energy. And then we're going to give it the projectile lifetime, and I will leave it as kinetic. Swarm. Swarm. Just swarm. Swarm. This way I don't need too much more energy. Okay, now, remember, the hitbox of this is actually only one tile. It's no more. Even if you have the overlap detection, which apparently doesn't work, because we've made it too big, it still wouldn't go off. So if I just put this here, basically just putting these anywhere we have space, because once again, they are free of charge. I was worried about the recoil, but apparently we're so heavy it makes no difference. At all. And I just thought of something. We could actually test out the heat-seeking rockets if an old bug still exists. Now, I loathe to bring it up, but if we go with heat-seeking here, now I think if I press escape rather than exiting normally... No, it doesn't. Okay, so I have fixed that bug. I'm actually kind of happy about that. Both happy and a little bit sad. So, there used to be a glitch where if you didn't save properly and you put in something you didn't own, it would still give you the ownership of that item, at least for that one weapon, although then if you did any editing anywhere, it would then revert. Apparently that's no longer the case. I am tempted, though, to remove this minus 20% energy. This does mean it will cost a small amount, but we have loads of energy to spare at the moment. Now, I can't really afford any more upgrades, so what do we have? Just bonus, yeah, bonus 50% damage. I mean, that's a pretty big deal, isn't it? Yeah, let's go with that. So, bonus 50% damage. Let's make sure this isn't too bad on our energy reserves. I may add some more shields as well on the side note, since we do have a lot of power spare. Yeah, definitely adding more shields. Now that's some proper shielding. Oh no! My right-hand side has been damaged! And release. And we still have some thrusters on the inside, so we can move away from it and then replace. Yep, seems fine to me. Also, I love how rockets look now. Really, really need to upgrade those rockets. Is there anything else we should do before we go out to test this in the real world? I mean, I could add even more thrusters, honestly. We're still not running out of fuel. The only problem with thrusters is just, well, we're adding more and more weight to these side sections, meaning they're more and more unstable, but now we have added loads of stuff to the core. It does seem to be working okay. Did I attach those incorrectly? No, this one was attached correctly, so which one are you attached to? No, that's correctly as well. What did I do then? I did something wrong and have no idea what I did wrong. Good. That's always good for learning, isn't it? That is lovely to control now. Good shield coverage. Decent payload, though could be better. The only thing is, stability in terms of rotation is a little bit limited. So what I could do is add some rotation thrusters to the outside as well. Yeah, that wouldn't hurt, because even if we remove one side, it's not like one side can't function without the other. So, yeah, let's just do that as well. And then I think we're good to go. Oh, I've just thought of something we could do. Okay, I'm going to save this one, though. So, Armour Drone 1. And then I'm going to replicate this, because I've had an idea. Say goodbye to pretty much everything underneath here. So all that's gone. Goodbye. What we could do, underneath here, is add a section which is purely for harvesting. Now the thing is, the harvesting section would normally slow us down, and that is twisted and really annoying. There we go. Normally, the harvesting section would be there and be useless until the world is safe. But how about if we could just drop it? So we drop it at the start, then we simply make a new one later on. If it takes damage, then that's fine, because as always, we can simply recreate them. And then a couple of blues as well. Honestly, so far, I've not needed more than 2 of the blue or red tanks, so it's almost purely with the yellows. And then we'll just put some of these here as well. Put these on the usual control for these, like so. So, to begin with, we just drop that. Then later on, when we need it, we simply respawn it and we can harvest. Of course, the problem here is very obvious. We no longer have the ability to move upwards. And the balance is off. Oh, I feel like if I had this in mind to begin with, that would have been fantastic, but I didn't have that in mind to begin with. I feel like, yeah, let's go back to that later. For now, let's just test this out in a proper planet. On a proper planet. Okay, except for this one. This one we don't have the frost weapons, and I can't be bothered to change the weapons over to frost. It would take a few seconds, but I am incredibly lazy. Just find one where we need to destroy stuff. Yep, that'll do. So we're doing this now on a planet I have not yet completed, which should be a lot better. Welcome to the world. We are way faster than I expected. That's nice. Begin bombardment. That was fairly quick as well. Yeah, we are way faster than I expected, which is very nice indeed. Oh, lava. Oh, you know what we can do about that? We can just go, goodbye. Let's not heat up everything, thank you. We finally got to use that. Well, finally. Straight away we got to use that. Lovely. And it's all because I'm a dum-dum. I always knew my dumbness would come in handy someday. Ooh, yellow. I'll come back to you. Okay, let's purposely take some damage. Enemies. Oh, we have destroyed the caves, but normally there's more. Okay, good. Yeah, you. Oh no! I am being damaged! You know, when you don't want this thing to hurt you, you instantly lose stuff. There you go, lost some stuff on the inside. That's because we didn't have the shields on. If we had the shields on, be able to pop there instead. Okay, so we've lost some stuff now on the left side. So all I need to do is... There we are. And we're fine. That is awesome. This is an awesome idea. Thank you to everyone who suggested this. We're going to make some bloody terrifying drones with this concept in the future. Also rockets. I love them. Of course I do. They're missiles. Well, they're dumb rockets, but I'm going to call them missiles because I like missiles. Oh, my shield at the bottom's been turned off. That's not energy, is it? No, we definitely have some spare energy left. Oh, I was about to let go of it, but not. Still forgetting the controls. So if I wanted to do that, it would have been this. And then replace. These would act as a pretty good distraction as well. Sort of like a gecko throwing its tail. For those who didn't know, a lot of gecko species can sometimes throw their tails. Yeah, it's not pleasant. Especially someone who does have pet geckos. So now we are on a world I haven't completed. Also, I've had a random thought about what I was saying earlier in regards to the heat-seeking missiles. And for some reason, I was assuming all life in this galaxy is warm-blooded. I don't know why. It makes no sense to me now. I'm apparently just completely out of it right now. Now, destroy the hammerheads now. Now. Hello, friends. Oh, I love the rockets. They're so much stronger than I remember. One last one. My question is, who's even placing all of these? Hello! You didn't stand a chance. I didn't even see the third one. Nice. If you're wondering why suddenly the decoupling ability has failed here, it's because I'm a dum-dum. I've attached some fuel tanks to these, which means now they can act on their own and are seeking vengeance. Get off me. To elaborate, it's these 4 tiny fuel tanks on the outside, which I just thought would look cool. No, apparently not. So now, when they decouple, it should be fine again. Yep, everything's working as intended now. And there we go, the core drone is free to simply run away. Like the coward I am. And since they are separate from the main body, they are not able to share the fuel that the main drone has. And then suddenly, I said suddenly, perfect. So with that, I'm afraid I am all out of time for today's video. If you have enjoyed, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Nimbatus is a series you wish to see continued in the future. In the next episode, we will most likely be messing around with brand new weapons and hopefully making the ultimate rockets, and a few other things like that, or we'll be placing down automatic defense turrets, or we will be making the ultimate combat/harvester drone hybrid, so we don't have to have 2 drones at all times. Either way though, today's been a lot of fun, and I am happy to say this has been a success. So, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.